In the beginning, let's get to what's going on with the French visit. The media said this is going to be a bad relationship. Got off to a rocky start. But now French President Macron even taking a line from President Trump ahead of today's state visit to the White House. Watch.
We have a very special relationship because both of us are probably the maverick of the systems on both sides. I think President Trump's election was unexpected in your country, and probably my election was unexpected in my country. And we are not part of the classical political system. I'm here to serve my people in my country and make it great again, as somebody I know very well could say. But that's it. That's the whole story.
Joining me now, Weekly Standard executive editor Fred Barnes. Fred, make France great again. Did you hear that?
Yeah, Jay, look, Macron, he is so shrewd, so smart, so likable, and Trump is just basking in it. He's getting everything he wants. Macron wants a bit more. He wants to make sure that Trump doesn't get out of the Iran nuclear deal, and then he gets back in the Paris Accord. I think not much chance of that, but he is smart. He is the big European leader who has stepped forward to embrace Trump, not endorse him, but give Trump somebody big to deal with. It isn't going to be England. It isn't going to be, what's her name, Angela Merkel of Germany comes in, I think, on Friday, and she's a bit of a sourpuss and does not get along with Trump. But Macron has made an effort here, and it's very wise on his part.
You know, here's the thing. We've got that May 12th deadline for the Iran deal. The president is expected to yank it. He already said this is the worst deal ever. And then you're right. We've got Angela Merkel coming in. You know, Fred, these state visits are coming at a time when economic growth is up, optimism is up. The media reporting how the Democrats may take back control of the House. The president seems to be dominating the message. When people go to vote, they say, "What are you going to do for me?"
Yeah, look, I wouldn't buy this line from the Democrats and from a lot of people in the media that there's a blue wave coming and Democrats are just going to sweep through and win the House and maybe the Senate in November. They may do very well. That would be what happens historically in the first midterm election for a new president. But Trump is the dominant figure here, and he has got some very optimistic things to talk about, not just the economy, but in foreign policy as well. And look, Macron was one of those who joined in the attack on the plants in Syria where they mixed and made the poisonous products that were used to kill so many Syrians. And so they've worked together before, and I think they'll work together again, particularly here. You know,
Macron has pointed out that they're both maverick outsiders. They're both businessmen. They're not part of the classical political system. Both were elected on the first try. It seems like these two men have a lot in common. So we've got the D.C. media up in arms saying, you know, this is going to be problems here with the state visit, certainly with Angela Merkel. They're raising the red flags about it. What do you see?
Well, look, I'll tell you what the media really wants, and they're going to hound poor old Macron while he's here. They want him to dump on Trump. And he is refusing to do it. Wouldn't be smart to do it.
How are they going to get the French president to dump on President Trump?
Well, he's going to have a press conference and other things. They'll yell questions at him. Look, they have ways to get that question asked, but Macron is, I think, not going to do it. What purpose of his would it serve? He says he's here to deal with the President of the United States. He doesn't have to, and doesn't have to comment personally on Trump.
You know what? And to your point, Fred, and it's an important one, the media is, again, misreading the situation. Macron likes his relationship with Trump because it improves his own basically rookie standing with the EU. He's now being called the Trump whisperer. Macron's not going to damage that. He's not going to damage how important he is now to the EU, given his relationship with Trump.
I think you're absolutely right. It serves his purposes very well. Now, will Macron be able to talk Trump into not getting out of the Iran deal? Will he be able to talk him into getting in the Paris Climate Accord? I don't think so on either one of those things, but he'll get credit for trying.